Okay, so good evening, everyone. We are from Group 2 IUP in Managerial Accounting Final Project presentation. We want to present about applying Managerial Accounting Job Order Costing Method in Zatheer Clothing and Dian'S Convection. Next.
Job order costing, process costing, activity based, and the focus is to be customized order based business like Zatheer and Convection. The next chapter is chapter 3, which is company overview. So we chose two textile and clothing manufacturers, which are Zatheer, and the second one is Dian'S. So basically, Zatheer is a Muslim fashion business based in Surabaya, and they provide custom formal wear for Muslims, but they can produce for others. And then they lack structured financial management, and especially in raw materials and overhead. And for Dian's is a textile industry based in Salatiga, and they engage in production of clothes based on customer orders. And they don't really put attention to overhead, and they use manual financing based on intuition. And these are the products of Zatheer, the three main products, as you can see. And these are the details for each product. And next is going to be continued by Muktam.
Okay, so now we see this is the based on the previous slide, give the brief information about the raw material need each product, and this is the recapitulation of the all of the raw material needed. But based on my research, but on our research in Dian's Convection Salatiga, usually the business, the supplier of the kain or fabric, they use kilograms. So the company need to adjust from the standard. They usually use meter per segi to be in kilograms. And this is the data of the recapitulation. Next. And based on the material needed, there's a cost each product. So actually, we forget to add the result of the total each the product, like line blue, line white, Apollo, and etc. So based on the overall three product production raw material, this is the cost of each type of the. This is the cost of the. Firstly is about the fabric, and then there's benang or and then lastly the kancing or bottom. Next. Okay, so next we move to the production process. Basically, we have a lot of access deeper in Dian's convection procedure. So when we visit the Zatheer, we meet in another place, not directly to the businesses, but the when I visit another reference from Dian's convection, there is a process, detailed process in the field. Firstly, it's about cutting, is sewing, and the second sewing, hemming, overdecking, stud mounting, embroidery. After that, finish it with packaging. The first step is fabric cutting. Yeah, they usually use the electric, not sometimes there is scissor, but for the more advanced and more faster way, they use electric cutting with duration around 20 minutes because they need to adjusting the body design. So the second is sewing or assembling, which means like after the fabric being cutted, there will be uh, constructed to be the body of the clothing. and it's need 30 minutes per shirt with two with around three sewing machine. And the third is hemming, which mean like if we know like the side of the clothing to reinforce the edge to prevent fraying. Estimated time for the estimation time to do the hemming is around 10 minutes with two hemming machine. Next. And the fourth step is overdecking or stitching. It's almost similar with the hemming. It's in the company. It's only you use one overdeck machine, but with it, almost the same function with the hemming, but more advanced. So each clothing for the for to repair or to make the side of the clothing more tightly, they use hemming and overdeck. Hemming used two machine and overdeck only use one machine, but with estimated time only one machine, but only 10 minutes per shirt. After that, we move to the stud mounting, which is we put each the clothing button 7 buttons in the clothing with estimation around 10 minutes per shirt. And after that, we move to the embroidery, which means like we adding the pattern or motif to the shirt uh, with the estimation around 15 until 20 minutes per shirt with two embroidery machines. And the last is the packaging. Okay, so this is the resource needed in the production process. So we move to the direct labor. Firstly, we come to the direct labor. So basically, the company only have four workers. One person with moving in cutting, doing cutting with the cutting machine, electric cutting machine. Only one person with salary around with salary 1,000 rupiah per product. And there's another two-person which is moving in sewing, hemming, overdecking, and stud mounting with their salary is each person is about 2.5 thousand. So in total in one activity and in one service, it's total around 5,000 per product. And after that, there's a patterning service, which is embroidery. The workers are involved is the same as the sewing process, but with the each with another salary level, yeah, with but there's a differences each product with the salary each type of the product, as we explained in jasa pattern. For the line blue is around uh 6,000 per two persons. Line white is 8.5 thousand per two person, and Apollo is 12.5 thousand per two person. And the last one is packaging with only one person with salary around is around 500 rupiah per product. Next. And finally, we move to the overhead. This is based on my based on our interview in Zatheer and Dian'S Convection. They not really put more attention on the overhead, even though I asked how much the electricity, your electricity KWH, your uh, empty or use it every day and every product. They not really explain, and then they not really understand and put attention about that. So we use the measurement. So this is the detail of this data. This is the detail of the uh, electricity power usage, which is shown in this table. Uh, if we want to know about the overhead cost, we need to we only need to times the electricity tariff, which is attached in the below the table. It's around uh 1,351 rupiah per KWH. Next. Okay, so this is the result of analysis and discussion. So firstly about the direct material, they usually use fabrics, threads, benang and buttons, as we explained, as we shown the details on the previous raw material data. After that, we consider the direct label, which is assigned by task, not by the duration of working. As we know, as we get the insight from both of the company. And after that, we consider the overhead, which is more focusing on the electricity, with the tariff is around 1.351 rupiah per kWh. So we can see in the example of the total cost, this is based on our calculation. Yeah, for the line blue is around 2.46 million is including 35 units in line blue. For the line white, is around 2.47 million in 30 units, and the Apollo last is the 2.76 million in 35 units. So based on this calculation, we hope the accurate pricing based on those cost appears to help the company. Yeah, because this is the company based cost order based company. Yeah, so they have the consideration to determine the proper price for the consumer, and have the minimum patokan, minimum standard for negotiation and planning. So last we break down about the job order costing. This is all the job order cost sheet that we create. Firstly is about that is about line white, which is with breakdown of the direct material, direct labor overhead. Each of them, this cost appear is around 2.48 million. And for the line blue, we can see that this is lower than the line white, which is 2.646 million. And the last is the highest cost needed, which is the Apollo type with 2.76 million. So before we move to the next slide, we will give you the example of the how the company determine the pricing. So for the line white, it's ideal to the company to take the minimum pricing for the customer, minimum 2.5 million. It's almost same with the line white and line blue too. So the company, we suggest the company to consider to take our pricing range to be bargainable from 2.5 until 3 million, but only for the Apollo, which is the cost is almost closer to the 3 million. Yeah, I think the company need to consider the pricing more higher than both of the previous product, which is line white and line blue. So Apollo is the highest. Next. Okay, so this is the conclusion from our discussion. Firstly, is about job order costing, which is both of the company, which is moving based on the customer order. So this is the job order costing provide better cost visibility, which is for the Zatheer will gain structure in material and labor costing, and for the Dian'S convection, they can start considering about the overhead pricing, which is especially in electricity. So, okay. Okay, so this is the end of our presentation about our uh, discussion regarding the Zatheer and Dian'S convection job order costing in managerial accounting final project presentation. Thank you.